Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So I realize my appearance is a little bit potentially terrifying at the moment. It's for a cosplay. Let's just move on from all of that. You can thank God that you can't see the fake blood I have under. But anyway, so today we're back to talking about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. So as predicted, this got even messier than I expected. Genuinely, I did not see this one coming. So let's discuss what's going on now, and then I'll also have a question for you guys. Justin Baldoni releases unseen texts from Ryan Reynolds' Blake Lively as he launches lawsuit-focused website. And we're going to take a look at the website in a second as well, but let me just give you the information first. Some of this article is repetitive, so there are going to be parts I'm just going to skip over because we've already discussed some of this stuff. Justin Baldoni launched a website dedicated to defending himself against Blake Lively's sexual harassment allegations. The new site, which was first reported by TMZ Saturday, links to an amended version of the $400 million defamation and extortion lawsuit he filed against Lively, her husband Ryan Reynolds, and the actress publicist Leslie Sloan on January 16th. It also links to a 168-page document detailing a timeline of relevant events related to the case. It includes never-seen-before texts, emails, and other messages Baldoni allegedly exchanged with Lively. I'm telling you, every time I read an article, there's a typo. And Reynolds throughout the production process for the 2024 film, It Ends With Us. Among the newly released messages is one from April 2023 in which Lively, while discussing a rewrite of the movie's rooftop scene, the infamous rewrite of the rooftop scene, I might add, allegedly wrote to Baldoni, "If you knew me in person longer, you'd have a sense of how flirty and yummy the ball busting will play. It's my love language, spicy and playfully bold, never with teeth." I'm all about context in messages, but this is a very weird way to put a message. Just the adjectives being used, like flirty, yummy, particularly, I don't know, uncomfortable and weird is my opinion on that, but maybe that's just part of a quirky personality. Another text from February 2023 shows the Deadpool star 48 allegedly texting Baldoni, "I'm excited for you to work together. I'm excited for Blake to crack open her creative piggy bank with someone as dynamic as you. This is going to be incredible. I happen to adore you, Justin." In another text from April 2023, Lively declined to meet with the intimacy coordinator until filming began. "I feel good," she allegedly texted Baldoni. "I can meet her when we start. Thank you, though." So the whole thing with the intimacy coordinator is important to note because that became a big point of contention because obviously Lively's claiming that Baldoni was inappropriate and creepy towards her, but Lively apparently also never actually saw the intimacy coordinator, so it wasn't just about not seeing her prior to filming. Apparently, the intimacy coordinator was just nixed entirely from what was described in prior articles that I read and discussed in other videos. So I'd also like clarification on what the exact deal was with the intimacy coordinator, because as much as it might seem like a detail, if we're talking about sexual harassment or someone being inappropriate and creepy, what happened or didn't happen with the intimacy coordinator is extremely relevant. On top of that, I also think Ryan Reynolds' entire thing of "I happen to adore you, Justin" is interesting. Also because here we're seeing basically proof of everything before it escalated, and it's extremely strange. Of course, things can change in the matter of minutes if someone is creepy and inappropriate, but at the same time, it shows a rapport that went downhill so extremely fast, at least from an outsider's perspective, that you have to wonder what exactly happened there, which I know is the question we all have because in reading everything that we've read, we have this to and fro of he said, she said, and no clear understanding of anything cataclysmic actually happening. Like one main thing that made everything fall apart. What it seems like so far is that there were a lot of little things that apparently went wrong, and that's what made this all fall apart. But to go from Ryan Reynolds saying, "I happen to adore you, Justin," to the situation we're in now with a $400 million lawsuit, Blake Lively claiming sexual harassment, creepiness, inappropriate behavior, so on and so forth. My general idea of that is sure, it could have been a ton of small little microaggression type events, I tend to think one big thing happened and then all the other small things just added on to that. But again, I wasn't there. It's just interesting how this escalated, and it's very unclear, in my opinion, as part of the public, what exactly occurred, simply because, like I said before, we have these two sides of the story that do not align at all. In fact, for the most part, it seems like they're talking about two separate stories. So I guess we'll find out. Maybe. In May 2023, Baldoni texted someone saying he was fucking terrified of saying the wrong thing to Lively about wanting a wardrobe change for her character after backlash from fans about her leaked look. Now, this was discussed in another video. It's not central in the least, but she did basically wear some wardrobe that she chose, and this was also part of the issues at hand, is that she took control of wardrobe and apparently went over budget with wardrobe, picking things that were not necessarily ugly, but just not right for the character, I guess. And then there was the leak of a look, and fans did not like the look, and here we are. Now, it's interesting, though, that Baldoni texted someone saying that he was terrified of saying the wrong thing to her, because this actually adds up with everything else he claimed, because part of his claims were basically that he was walking on eggshells around Blake Lively, also because Ryan Reynolds was getting mixed up in this. As you might recall, Ryan Reynolds helped Lively rewrite a scene, and Reynolds was not part of the project. So as much as I guess it's a nice gesture for a husband to help his wife do that, it's also, in my opinion, out of line to just get in a creative project where you have no actual role. I don't know. That's just me. I would personally be aggravated if a random person, you know, like I get it's Ryan Reynolds, I get it's Blake Lively's husband, but at the end of the day, in terms of this project, he's a random person because he's not part of the project. So the rewriting of the scene is also a big part of, I think, why there was animosity between Baldoni and Ryan Reynolds from Baldoni's end. Ryan Reynolds, obviously, there's animosity because he feels like his wife was disrespected, treated inappropriately, so on and so forth. Interesting nonetheless, because again, we see these text messages saying, "I adore you," and then at every turn, it seems like there was an issue for things that really could have been non-issues. So then the article goes on to discuss when Blake Lively had Baldoni come to her trailer when she was pumping, which also turned out to be part of the issues, I suppose, because she texted him, there were screenshots of that, she texted him saying, "Come on in, I'm pumping," but then also there were allegations that he basically just came into her trailer whenever he wanted. So again, a lack of clarity there, and it goes back to what I was saying before. It seems like we're hearing two separate accounts of completely different events. So it goes on to say, it appears Baldoni is hitting back at several of Lively's claims on the site, as he also included screenshots of alleged correspondence with the film's intimacy coordinator. He shared texts showing his alleged attempts to address Lively's claims that he made her feel uncomfortable while working together, with sexually suggestive comments and remarks about her postpartum body. And so then it goes on to basically just summarize saying that Lively had initially filed a complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, alleging that Baldoni sexually harassed her on the set of the film. She also claimed the actor and director then launched an orchestrated smear campaign to tarnish her reputation. She then filed a formal lawsuit against Baldoni on December 31st, which we already know. And then finally, it just goes on to say that the case is currently set for a March 2026 trial date, which we also already know. That's where the article stops. Now, I decided to go and have a little look at what's on the website as of now. So, on the website, there are two tabs. One of them is an amended complaint, and the other one is a timeline of relevant events. Now, the amended complaint, as you can see, is 224 pages. Now, I had read a complaint that I think was maybe 80 or 90 pages, if I recall correctly, so this is interesting because I'd like to know what exactly was amended. I have to go through all of this and read it, but that was part of the question I wanted to ask you guys, is if you care to hear about the amended complaint, because obviously there's going to be more information in there, potentially more screenshots, but I'm going to have to sift through those pages to see what really is there, if there's anything really groundbreakingly different, let's put it that way. Second of all, on the website, there's also the timeline of relevant events. Now that's the one that's 168 pages that was mentioned in the article. Now here we have emails between Justin Baldoni and Colleen Hoover. We have pictures of computer screens and call logs. We have screenshots of text messages. There is a lot of evidence in here. So if you guys are interested, we can cover all of that. That's definitely going to be a longer video because there is a lot to go through. Just even the screenshots, because here it's not just like before where it was screenshots between Baldoni or Sloan or a publicist where it's basically just like 3 main people. These are screenshots with people from TMZ. These are screenshots with editors. There are so many additional people that aren't really super mentioned in the articles before, so it definitely gives more context, but it also is a lot more complicated to frame all of this, especially since basically you have pages of screenshots with a tiny description under of maybe 3 or 4 lines of, hey, this is this person, this is that person, and this is what we're talking about. If you guys are interested, I can review all of that and then do as I have prior to give you what I think are the most important parts of these basically 300 pages worth of information. But anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm definitely interested in this method that Baldoni is taking, because basically what he's doing here is the equivalent of when you see, you know, those threads on Twitter that are supposed to expose people and they show screenshots or whatever? This is basically that in a website form. Now, obviously, this is a lot deeper than the silly threads we might see on Twitter, but it is interesting that he's putting all of this information out there. And this goes back to what I was saying the other day also, of whenever this trial occurs, it's going to be interesting to see how they pick an unbiased jury, because all of this info is now out there. And it goes back to what I was saying also before, that perhaps it would have been better to not just throw out all of this information for everyone to consume, because most people, I think, will make up their minds before this trial occurs. Most people actually have already made up their minds about whose side they're on. So I don't really know if this is the best method of going about this, but here we are. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you want that comprehensive video covering basically everything that Baldoni has posted on the website so far. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.